Jamon was always a night owl. After eating the swallow's nest, she sat at the desk and went on the computer. Less than half an hour later, she yawned numerous times. In the end, she couldn't stand it any longer. She got up and took a shower. When she climbed into bed, Tianhao was already fast asleep. In the next few days, Tianhao still felt nauseous every now and then. She used to often have stomach aches, but they would only make her feel nauseous for 2 to 3 days. After her bodily functions recovered on their own, she would just be fine. Who knew that this time it would last for a good few days, without any signs of recovery? Tianhao couldn't help but feel uneasy. The other day, she wanted to go to the doctor's to get it checked, but the next day, she ate something and the nausea and thought of vomiting had already disappeared. Even the red barbecue meat that she saw 2 days ago didn't make her want to vomit anymore. Her stomach didn't feel the least bit uncomfortable. She thought that everything was back to normal and that she had naturally gotten better, so she felt relieved. Han Rushu gave her 40 whole bottles of Swallow's Nest. Jamon would have one every night. They were said to help improve one's beauty. Though Tianhao didn't have one a day like Jamon, she ate about 5 or 6. She didn't know if it was because she'd been so exhausted and busy with filming, but she always seemed to be sleepy. Even Jamon was often yawning alongside her. One night, when Tianhao was filming a night scene. It was only 8 o'clock, yet she couldn't open his eyes. Whilst filming with Lu Jinian, she still yawned, because of which they had to cut the scene short and reshoot. Tianhao drank half a bottle of cold water to wake herself up a little, as she wanted the second try to be the last. In the end, just as she had almost finished filming, she couldn't control her yawning and let out a few consecutive yawns, which caused another NG. After Tianhao went on set, she had always performed well. Even with 2 consecutive NGs, the director didn't get angry. He just ordered her to take a half an hour's rest. Tianhao didn't know what was wrong with her recently. She used to sleep 7 hours, which was about enough, but in these past 2 days, she was madly sleepy. Even though the director didn't blame her for the NGs, they still delayed quite a lot of time. That, as well as the fact that it was also a night scene, it naturally made everyone have to stay behind and work through the night. To ensure that the third take would be successful, Tianhao walked out of the studio on her own. It was raining lightly, so the temperature outside was quite cold. Tianhao only wore a thin mini dress, so when she stepped out, her whole body shivered a little in the cold breeze, instantly waking her up. To make sure she stayed awake, Tianhao took a slow walk outside. In the end, she reached a hibiscus tree which was in full bloom. She stopped to take a look. Coincidentally, a gust of cold wind and water made the air moist. The petals from the hibiscus tree rustled and fell in the rain. Drops of water landed on Tianhao's exposed skin. It was so cold, she couldn't help but shiver. She hugged her shoulders and was about to tiptoe back into the studio when she felt someone drape something over her from behind. Tianhao blanked out for a moment, then turned around. Who could say when he came over, but it was Lu Jinian who was silently standing beside her. As though he hadn't noticed the bewilderment in Tianhao's eyes, he reached his hand out and pulled his jacket tighter over her shoulders.